Hello, all you beautiful Taurians out there. This is Maxine Taylor, and I have got your fabulous May forecast for you. As I'm looking at it here, I'm just loving it. Let me tell you why. Um, where shall I start? Okay, I'm going to start with the big picture, and then I'm going to narrow it down and get into more details until ultimately I'm going to give you an explanation of all this exciting planetary activity here. So I hope you enjoy this. And if you want your own personal forecast, of course, go to my website, MaxineTaylor.com. I would love to do your forecast or your birth chart for you. So let's talk about what's going on for every Taurian out there. And this applies to those of you with a Taurus ascendant as well. Well, back in January, we had two eclipses. Remember, the first one was January 5th in 15 Capricorn. The second one was January 21st in 1 degree of Leo. At that time, I mentioned to you that we feel the effects of an eclipse about a week before it occurs and until the next pair come along, which are usually about 5-6 months later. But eclipses are at their peak 3 to 4 months after they occur. And 3 to 4 months from January, you got it, April and May. And so let's talk about what went on eclipse-wise for you back in January, because it's really up now. It's up there. Okay, the first eclipse was the solar eclipse, and we're not even worried about solar, lunar. An eclipse is an eclipse. I love that. So this fell in your 9th house of the higher mind, travel, the big picture. Have you gone back to school? Are you taking long trips versus short ones? The 9th house deals with philosophy, with your principles. And what I have found is that when the 9th house is triggered, you see the big picture. You see the far horizon. You're not caught up in the details. Your whole approach is much wiser. As I said, more philosophical. You're dealing with truth and you are expanding your horizons in every area. I love it. Are you flying internationally on business? Are you communicating with relatives at a long distance? Are you rethinking your whole life? There it is right there. There's that eclipse. The second eclipse fell in your 4th house of home, family, and real estate. It was a lunar eclipse in 1 degree of Leo. So the emphasis very different on your home, on your family members, maybe buying, selling a house. It deals with everything that provides emotional security, but it deals with home base. The 9th house deals with faraway places, concepts. So you may be torn between spreading your wings and soaring and digging in front of the couch with the remote in your hand, enjoying home sweet home. The two of those hopefully blend. Now, moving it a little closer in time, let's talk about the new moon and the full moon that we will have May. Okay, on May 4th, we have the new moon, and that's the time of new beginnings. That's when energy starts happening. It's a time when the sun and moon are conjunct, so there's a lot of energy involved, and things start moving forward. How lovely. It takes place in your 1st house. That's the most personal house in the chart. It's the me house, so it is your turn. It's your turn to do what you want, when you want, how you want, because you want. Don't you? Super terrific. And so you're doing your thing your way for 2 weeks because the moon starts growing on the new moon until by the time we reach the full moon on the 18th, There's a tension in the air because it's like a balloon that is filling with air, and the day or two before the full moon, it's ready to pop, and you just feel like you're ready to pop. And on the full moon, it is released, and issues, wherever the full moon is, come to a head to be handled. And I think of that as very powerful and very positive, because you can resolve any type of situation with the help of the full moon. So it's in your seventh house of relationships and partnerships. So you've been doing your thing your way, and by the full moon, you're saying, hey, what's going on out there with everybody else? And maybe your mate or your special someone says, hey, remember me? Or maybe you meet somebody. Yeah. Remember, there's always a blessing in everything. So, how do you want this to function in your life? This is the beauty of having your chart done. You call the shots. This is the principle involved, relationships. Um, how are you going to use it? Yes, it can be litigation too. And so if you're involved in a lawsuit of any type, it should come to a head. You should be able to finalize things, or at least bring them to a head on this full moon. I say get out there and meet everybody with a seventh house full moon. Okay? Now let's look more closely at the details. You can see that the energy begins in the 12th house of behind the scenes activities. Leave me alone, I want to dream a little dream. Let's just start with Mercury, okay? Mercury is the blue planet. And wherever it is, that's what we think about and talk about. And what you think about and talk about, it can be very private. 12th house is behind the scenes activities, and divinely inspired 12th house of the spirit plane. But you want to get away from it all. 12th house says, go away world, I want to be by myself. And so you've got great ideas, but they're kind of just kind of getting together. They're simmering, okay? On the 6th of May, remember that's just 2 days after the new moon, Mercury moves into your first house, and you're saying, okay, I'm thinking about myself now, and I'm talking about myself now, and here's what I want to do. Good for you. Good for you. It is your turn. Now, I'm going to combine this just for a second with Venus, the pink planet. Venus is love and beauty. And it's in your 12th house, hidden away from prying eyes. You want to dream a little dream, that type of thing, which I think is gorgeous. Okay, so on the 15th, Venus moves into your first house. And you love you, because wherever Venus is what you love. So both Mercury and Venus start off in the 12th house. Now, I want to move them forward, but I'm going to go back to Mercury so we can tie up that loose end, okay? So on the 6th, Mercury moves into your first house. You're thinking about yourself. You're talking about yourself. This is great. I love it. And on the 21st, Mercury moves into your second house of money. And this is you thinking about money, planning your finances. Whatever you put your attention on grows. And this is a terrific time to think about how to create more income. Yes, you're a Taurus. You can do it. Okay, now let's go back to Venus. Venus starts off in the 12th house, but on the 15th, it moves into your first house, and you love you. You feel beautiful. You feel happy. You feel positive. And when you love you, the world loves you. This is a great time to revamp your wardrobe, to indulge yourself, to spend money on you. I love it. And you know, this happens once a year. Enjoy it. Now, the yellow planet is the sun, and it's been in your first house. The sun is the giver of life. So the center of your life, which is the sun, has been you. It has paved the way for Mercury and Venus. And on the 21st, it's going to move into the second house. Now, Notice the sun changes signs on the 21st, moves into the second house. Mercury changes signs on the 21st, moves into the second house. So there is a shift in the energy worldwide on the 21st. Some of you are going to feel this very strongly. Others of you may not feel it very strongly, but it still is operative. Don't you love it? You don't have to feel it for it to manifest. So there's more money for you when the sun, the giver of life, the creative force, enters your second house on the 21st, and Mercury gives you great ideas on how to do it. Terrific. The last planet is the red one, Mars. Now, wherever Mars is what comes first to us. That's what we fight with and fight for. With Mars in the second house, you have created money. You've created a flow of money, all during April. And so what you've got is, until the 15th, the ability to continue to get and spend and get and spend and get and spend money. I love it because there's a natural flow. Then on the 15th, the same day that Venus moves into your first house, moves into Taurus, and you feel lovely and you feel good about you and you want to indulge yourself, do it. Do it. Mars moves into the third house and your ideas are really awakened. You're ready to express yourself. You're ready to travel. You're ready to get on your horse and go. And of course, Mars is in Gemini, so it's let's do it now. There's total impatience, ready to go. I love that. And then it moves into Cancer it's in Gemini in the second house. When it moves into the third house, it moves into Cancer. And so there's more communication with family, more communication, more emotional emphasis on what makes you feel secure. This is a terrific time to express your ideas, express your feelings. You're allowed to do that, Taurus. So you have a beautiful May. And if you're interested in your own personal birth chart and reading from me, just go to my website, MaxineTaylor.com, and select the reading that you would like. And we will get together and I will send you a video on you. So until we meet again, may the stars shine brightly on you and yours. Bye for now.